That's right. Asking nothing, leave me be. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Dave Guerra here. It is Friday, January 24th, 2020. That's right. This is Let's Have a Chat About Leadership for Friday, January 24th, 2020. How are you? We made it to the end of the work week. It's been a crazy week already. And for those of you that only had a 4-day work week, because we had a holiday, the Martin Luther King Day, it seemed like it seems like we try to make up for Monday on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then Friday, well, we catch up with everything else we left behind, and it's insane. So it's kind of like those 4-day work weeks just are not in our favor. So the odds are not ever in our favor in that case, because again, we try to play that catch up, and well, that's how life is. So good evening, welcome. And you know what today is, because it is Friday. We're talking about Forbes Friday, ripped from the headlines of Forbes.com, the Forbes website, the Forbes magazines, podcast, newsletters, whatever. And in this case, updated straight tonight. And it's like it says in the show notes, the title of today's article that I'm going to be talking about is Stocks Plunge After U.S. Confirms Second Case of Coronavirus. Now, this is not the drinking too many Coronas. And no, this is actually a real thing. It's interesting how they can find these things and pinpoint them down to where they're all happening. Again, because people got sick at that level. And it quickly spread the word because it could have the potential. But have you noticed the last several? We had that avian flu back in 2009. I remember that. Now we've got this coronavirus. They're all coming out of China. What's the deal there? Something to think about. They're not being born in other countries. And China is a pretty much industrialized nation. It's the biggest nation in the world. And population-wise. And, we're getting these things. So what's going on? Something to think about, something to consider. But again, because we're talking about Forbes, we're talking about your money, we're talking about your finances, we're talking about that. That's what we do on Fridays. So I'm going to kind of read a little bit of the article. And this is breaking news. This was as of today, January 24th at 5:09 Eastern Time, from Sergey Klebnikov. He's the Forbes staff writer. He covers markets. He covers breaking news with a focus on money and markets. So there we go. And the title, like I said, is Stocks Plunge After U.S. Confirms Second Case of Coronavirus. And amid news on Friday that a second case of coronavirus was detected in the United States, the stock market took its biggest hit this week. As fears over the spreading Chinese virus continued to weigh on the global economy. And there's some bullet points. The threat of the new coronavirus from Wuhan, China continues to grow globally, with 26 people now dead and 900 infected. We started off the day with 800 reported infected. Now we're ending the day with 900 reported infected. News that the Center for Disease Control and Prevention confirmed its second case of the virus in the United States, with 63 others being tested. Sent the Standards & Poor's 500 and the NASDAQ Composite Indexes down almost 1%, while pushing the Dow down 0.6%, putting it on track for its worst week since mid-August 2019. Airline stocks in China and the U.S. have been hit hard by virus fears. Shares of American Airlines and United Airlines are both down 5%, while Air China and China's Eastern stock markets plunged 14.3% and 12.7% respectively. The casino, Disney, just shut down all their operations. They closed them down. And this I just read from a different website prior to coming onto the show. So now Disney's getting involved because, again, people get together, and that's just how this virus is spread, because when people cluster. Companies on Friday also began announcing business closures in China. McDonald's suspended business across 5 cities in the region, the Wuhan region. And there it is. Disney closed its $5.5 billion Disney resort in Shanghai, causing both stocks to fall by more than 1%. Now, there's concern. The stocks fall. It happens, and that's good. Don't panic. Unless you're living off the money that you're going to be selling off today, then panic. But for the most part, don't panic. Folks, this is a great time if you're an investor. If you are an investor at any level, you're just starting out, or you're a long-term investor. If you're a long-term investor, you know the deal here. You wait until, you buy low and you sell high. And you start thinking, well, why should I do this? This is people's misery, people's lives. Yes, I understand that. But the markets also understand that, hey, there's going to be people that are going to be selling off because they have the uncertainty. So right now is not the time to panic. Okay, we had the same thing when the SARS scare, the avian flu, and then now this one. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. So just don't panic just yet, but be aware that, hey, this is happening and this is what's going on out there. the other interesting thing is that oil prices are down. And the RBOB, I've talked about that in this show, the RBOB, that's your gasoline. It's down to 158 a gallon. This week it had been hovering about 161, 162. I saw it at 164 at one point, but it's under that. So it's under the 160 mark, $1.60 a gallon. So not bad there. So again, that concern is not an issue. Gold, silver, copper, rhodium, palladium, all of those metals, their prices are pretty much, they've not spiked. And typically, folks, when you see the stock market drop, you're going to see gold and silver prices climb, because that's just the way they are. And the same thing, because where the confidence is, well, they're not moving up. They're not spiking up. They haven't spiked. Silver closed at 1881 at 5 o'clock Eastern time today. So, and that's because, again, it was hovering around the $18.60 mark. So it's kind of normal. You spread that out over the week. It's right on for an up week. It's an up week for silver. You spread that over the month. It's on average. You spread it out over the year, 52 weeks back. Again, it's on the low side. So again, look at the big picture. No need to panic. No need to go crazy. This is not the time. So don't worry. Unless you're living off the money you're selling today in the stock market, then maybe you'll worry because you're going to lose something. But having a well-diversified portfolio should help take care of that. So you don't feel the hit. You don't absorb that much of a loss at any given point. And again, I am not a financial manager. I look after my stocks. I look after what I invest in. And I'm just sharing with you my opinion. So again, my opinion says don't panic. Now, if you're one of those people that panics, then by all means, sell away, because I'll buy low. I guarantee it. So that's that. So what does this say? Again, well, other things to look at, your health. You got to take care of your health. Follow the basic CDC guidelines. They're everywhere. They're posted anywhere and everywhere. Real simple. Wash your hands with soap, water, warm water. Scrubbing, the key point here is the scrubbing. The last time I was told something is that friction, 15 seconds. Now the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says 20 seconds. It's that friction. That's where it's at. It's not just the soap that you use. It's the soap helps, but it's that friction, and that's where you get in there, and that's what helps. So for 20 seconds consistently, and use an alcohol-based gel. You've seen those sanitizers, but alcohol-based. What else? Cover yourself when you sneeze, you cough. Avoid people that are sick. And if you're sick yourself, I understand people have to go to work. People have to earn a living. But what good would the organization be if you're the only one working because everybody else is falling sick because of you? So again, get out there and be aware of what's going on. So let's quickly take a look at the aspects and insights of all of this. First, oops, there we go. I hate when that does that. Sorry about that. Leadership. The aspects and insights on the leadership. Leaders definitely have to be on top of this situation, especially when it impacts the bottom line and it impacts the individuals as human beings. They're going to have kids. It's cold and flu season. We're right in the middle of it. So don't think like, oh, this is all of a sudden something happening. No, it's happened, and it happens every year. Everybody gets cold. Everybody gets sick. Everybody has a down day or two, and then they're back at it. It happens. But folks, leaders, encourage your people to go out there and get that flu shot. Encourage. Do the incentive. I know when I was director of operations for the last job I was at, I know I brought this in. We paid for the flu shot. We paid for the flu shot. So people didn't have to worry. All the employees got their flu shots when we paid for it. And it didn't come out of their paychecks. They went and they got it. And then we reimbursed them. That was the only thing we could do. Because again, one person will charge, one place will charge one, someplace else will charge a different amount. But we paid for it. And folks, encourage your people to go out there and get it. They need it. It's necessary. It's vital. And oh, you don't need all that stuff. It's just going to make you sick anyway. You're going to get the flu. No, what you get is your body reacting to what's been injected. So your body starts creating those antibodies based on what was injected into your system, your body's reaction. So yeah, it'll feel like you've got the flu, but no, it's just your body adjusting to this. And so don't panic. Okay, don't go all, what's that, X-Files on me and anybody else. No, there's no conspiracy theory. They're not injecting microbots or nanobots into your body, no. So again, leadership, encourage them to practice safety standards. Stay home if tell them to stay home. Tell them you don't want them there if they're sick, and encourage them. Encourage them. I know you can't force them to, but you can encourage them to take that flu shot. It is necessary. Employees, listen to your leadership. Listen to the leadership. Don't panic. Employees, don't panic. Have some safety measures in place. Follow the safety measures. Don't cut corners, because that's how people get sick. That's how people get sick. Because they cut corners. That's, oh, I'll wash my hands later. And then they touch their eyes. Guess what? That's right. Now the infection has gone in. So don't touch your eyes. Don't touch your nose. Don't be putting your fingers in your mouth after you put them up your nose. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, you've outgrown that. Training. Folks, get the training. Get the training. CPR, first aid. Get that training. Leaders, train the people. Get them in. Get subject matter experts, SMEs, get subject matter experts to come in and talk to your staff. Get them trained up. Let them know, hey, look, this is important, and this is why it's important. And get them to go in there. And if you're dealing with customers on a daily basis, people coming through the front door on a daily basis, those frontline staff definitely need to know what to do. And they also need to be able to identify somebody who appears to be, watery eyes, drainage, runny nose, itchy, watery eyes, scratchy throat. They need some rest. They need to be able to recognize those people and then say, hey, look, it doesn't look like you're up to 100%. I'm going to let the boss know, but you might need to go home. So again, training, follow the rules, listen to the rules, listen to the Center for Disease Control, listen to your public health authorities. They know what's going on. They're quick to communicate that. And if not, you really should be. So all in all, financially, don't panic just yet. Again, there's no need. Your money is your money. Look at what's going on. Keep an eye on the markets. And if you're interested in investing, this might be the time to start. So anytime's the time to start. So do that. Alrighty. Well, listen, it's Friday night. And in the sector, sorry about that. I forgot the sector. In the sector, everybody needs to just step it up. Airlines are already taking care of business. You heard what I said about Disney. You heard what I said about McDonald's. They're addressing these issues, and they're taking proactive measures. The entire city of Wuhan in China has been shut down. 11 million people, more people in that one city than there are in New York City. So imagine he's shutting down the entire city of New York, plus other parts of Connecticut, Long Island, parts of New Jersey, all of that all shut down. It's crazy, but it's happening right here, right now. But again, they're taking that proactive approach, and kudos to them for doing so. So that's that. Well, listen, I want to thank everybody for watching. It is Friday. Have a great weekend. Get out there, do a little thinking, do a little work, but figure out what you need to do. And if you have not received your flu shot, get out there and take care of it. Get it done. So other than that, I thank you. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you on Monday when we get back together again for sports and leadership. Until then, have a great weekend.